Hey, what's up, fellas? I just wanted to show you guys something that I found out since I'm leaving. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. So watch this video. So I was doing Landon's pay today, or last night actually, and this is what it looks like. I'm gonna have you look at the computer. This is just as you can see, this is a daily log, but I just did these calculations out of the side. I kind of did it differently than normal, but if you can see right here, you got, it's hard for you to see on this camera, but it's 4.5, you got 4.67, then 4.94, then he got good, 6.02, and then the last leg he got 4.56. So why did he get that? This totally baffled me, what happened. And I thought about it for a really long time, and I just couldn't figure it out. So, why would he get, and then if this is 7147, and so that truck typically when Eric was driving, we have a long history of just getting, I mean, if we go over to Eric's, do I have it pulled up? I don't even have Eric's pulled up. Dang it. Oh well, but, oh, here it is. So look, if you look here, we have a long history of, man, you can't even see it on the screen, but this is 5.84, this is 5.89, this is 5.71, this is 5.91. So basically it's getting high fives, and it gets low sixes sometimes too. So why was Landon able to pull out, I mean, the numbers are just jumping all over the place. Well, I'll just jump right to the conclusion and tell you what's going on here. Idling. You guys look for idling. This is how you check for idling. And so I mean, I thought the truck was broken for a second. And I was all ready to give Landon the money back. Now, Kevin, what we're actually do on this, because Landon is your truck, we're going to take, the total amount of money that he lost in idling was $380. So we're just going to take $380 and throw it in his damage balance. I told him this last night. But I don't want us to do that on a normal basis. We need to address this problem. You need to talk with every single one of the drivers about this. Idling is costing a fortune. So I talked to Landon, and this is what I saw. I did these calculations out to the side, and you can go see it. It's on Landon's. But this right here is miles per hour average, and how I got that is how many miles he covered. You know, it takes the time every time they fuel, and so I just divided the number of miles they got in between fuel stops by the time that it took him to get there. And so on this first one, he averaged 16 miles per hour. On the second one, he averaged 43 miles an hour. He still sucked, and I'll tell you why in a second. But the third one, he got 47 miles an hour. 47 miles an hour between fuel stops means basically you just didn't stop. 6.02, he didn't stop, he didn't idle. Here, 43 miles per hour, he stopped a little bit, but not very much, but he still got crappy fuel economy. So that's kind of weird. But 16 miles per hour means that he idled the other. Basically, he ran 16 minutes out of every hour and then sat the truck for 44 minutes out of every hour. Same here. This is 26. He got 4.56, and he ran the truck 26 minutes out of every hour and sat the truck for 34 minutes out of every hour. So I broke it down here into I broke it down to how many hours he spent driving and how many hours he spent not driving. So if you look on the ones, they directly correlate. 37 hours not driving leads to 4.67. 2 hours of not, now that we're going to throw that one out because it doesn't make any sense, and I'll tell you why. 1 hour, he couldn't have idled because he only spent 1 hour. He idled for 1 hour and he got 6.02. And then he idled for 15 hours here and he got 4.56. Idling is taking up a crazy amount of time. And then if you look, it's all about ratio too. See, this is 17 to 15, so he idled half the time. Here's 17 to 37. So at any rate, you got to look at that stuff. But idling is costing us about $8 per hour. You burn about 2.5 gallons per hour idling. And this was further accentuated by, okay, well, let me just tell you how I'm solving the problem with Randy, or with Landon. I said, dude, you can't idle. The best thing you can do to not idle is drive team. That's the best you can do. So when you're driving team, you're not idling because you are going down the road and using the air conditioner. There's no time to idle if the truck's always running. But the second thing, and I told Landon to do this, is and he's going to try, is Landon, go buy a generator and mount on the back of your truck and get a little window mount air conditioning unit if you can't stand to sit in the hot truck. And I mean, Landon's a big man, and I understand. I wouldn't want to idle either, but we got to come up with alternate ways to idle, because spending $9 per hour is not a good way to keep cool. There's much cheaper ways to do that. If you idle for a full day, which Kat and Randy just did, it costs about $170 per day. Waiting for a Hazelton load, Kat and Randy burn up 100 gallons of fuel just idling. That was like less than 2 days. They burn 100. That's like $340 worth of fuel out there in the Northeast. So there's much better ways. One way to do it, if you know you're gonna have a long bulk of time, is just get a cheap hotel. I mean, if you get a $30 hotel, you'll save that in just about 3 hours of being in the truck. So the price of, you'll spend $30 every 3 hours. So if you can find a $30 hotel, it's worth it to get a hotel. But I just wanted to emphasize to you that the numbers that I'm seeing are that idling in the summer is a major thing. Kevin, you might remember this, but we had a major problem last summer when all the fuel economies were going down. We couldn't figure out why. And we thought it might be I think it was partly because the air filter was getting clogged with dirt. But I think most of it, looking back on it now, is that everybody was idling. It was hot during the summer. So we've got to come up, watch Landon, see how he comes up with this. If we can come up with a window mount unit that's $100 from Home Depot, you need a small window mount unit, and then a pretty small generator can run that, and you'll spend $3 a day instead of, let's say he's idling 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day in the truck would be about $72. So $3 is much less than $72. I mean, it almost just completely wipes out your idling deal. So at any rate, we need to get generators and extension cord and window mount units for people that we see are jacking up their fuel economy by idling. And we got to have heart with our, because all the guys are going to say, oh yeah, I don't drive fast and I don't idle. Yeah, right. Okay, just look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. See, look, if their fuel economy is not really fluctuating, they're probably not idling. But you'll be able to see on a leg that they just drove the truck, if they get way better on a leg that they just drove the truck than on a leg where they had a lot of downtime, then you're gonna, that's the indicator that they're idling. And trust the indicators more than what the drivers are telling you, and address the problem based on the indicators, not what the drivers are telling you. So that's what I found out. Hopefully that's helpful.